Right, folks, today we got this giant big old blank wall here, and oh, focus now, I don't like that. I figure what we ought to do, talking to spouse, and it'd look real nice, is big old giant TV up there. And so this we're gonna do, wall mount that and try to do it in such a way that all them cords are hidden all nice. So let's get started. So what I've done so far is went ahead and marked where I think I want the sound bar to be, and then where I want the bottom edge of the TV to be, because we got a pretty high table that's going to sit here underneath it. So now what I need to do is unpack the TV and then figure out exactly where the mounting brackets go, because it ain't centered in the back of the TV, so I can't just measure centering the mock-up of the TV up there for where the mount needs to go. But yeah, then the next thing to do, I think, is to put the mount up, and then I'm going to drill some holes to run my wires and use this little in-wall kit that I bought on the Amazon to get all that snugged in back there. And BTW, this here's the kit what I bought to hide them cables behind the wall. See, it's got a place down here that you plug into your outlet, and all this runs behind the wall. That's your outlet for the sound bar, and this up here goes behind the TV. And it also allows for you to run HDMI cables and whatever else you need to from down here to up yonder without seeing them running up and down your wall. Right, so I got the mounting bracket mocked up on the back of the TV here, and I'm trying to figure out where on the wall I need to drill the bolts for this height-wise, so that the bottom of the TV is where we want it. It looks like here this is about 5.5 inches from the bottom of the mounting plate to the bottom, bottom of the TV here. So basically on the wall, I want this to be 5.5 inches taller than where I want the bottom of the TV to land. There's about 3.5. Yeah, about 5.5. We'll call that 5.5. I'll draw another line, and then I'll figure out where I need to mount that with my studs. Now, one thing y'all got to be careful with is the length of your bolts here. You don't want to get them in there that are too long nor too short, because you want it to have a good hold on there. Now, this TV recommended, it says it needs an M6 25 millimeter bolt, and the kit only came with 35 millimeter bolts, but it also came with a 10 millimeter spacer. Now, if math serves me, that ends up to be 35 millimeter, and that's looking real nice. So I got those attached there. Right, so I've gone ahead and made my line here. That should be the bottom of my mounting bracket, and this should be the lower line of the TV screen. Of course, now the trick is to find studs, and I've kind of been poking around a little bit already here. Looks like I got one here, which is good. So I'll probably go off of that line there. And I like to start with a little drill bit to drill in there and make sure I got the stud centered. So we'll try that. And then got my other one over here. Yep, running around in there. So again, I'll probably shoot for there. And the kit came with a nice little template that I'm gonna stick up there and level, and keep it that on the bottom side. And yeah, we'll see how that works. Alright, so I got my lines for my template on there now. Like I said, I like to start with a real small drill bit, just in case I totally done messed it up and mismarked where the stud is. And that way I don't have a huge hole to fix. So let's get in there and see if I got me a good solid stud. Oh yeah. Alright, there's one there. We're going to go ahead and put one down here. Oh, that time I did not hit a stud. So I'm going to take a minute and poke around here to see which side of that I'm on. I'm guessing I'm on the leftmost side of it. So the stud's probably more actually on this side here. Alright, so I actually found that the stud is more centered on the right side of that template circle. So that hole on the 16 inch is where I'm going to put them bolts. And that tells me I'm going to need to put the other side out here towards the outer edge of this template side, 16 inches apart. Right, folks, I'm back. I had to run down to the Menards, get me a 7/32 size drill bit. Apparently that's the only one I did not have. That seems to be the way it goes. Must have broke it, lost it, or whatever. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and get these drilled out in preparation for the bolts to go in. All right, so we got that up there and mounted, all bolted to the wall, secure like. I also adjusted the tilt a little bit so that it's leaning forward a little based on how high it is on the wall. So now the next thing is figuring out where to put the holes for the wiring kit. And next to this outlet here is one of the studs. So we got a good void right here, so I'll probably put one hole there level with the outlet. And directly above that, up here, we'll be running the other hole, and of course soundbar hole here in the middle. You want to do them straight in a line, that way when you're running the wires, gravity can work with you and get the all come out there a little easier. There's no insulation in this wall, so that should make things easier as well. But I'm thinking I will put the other hole up here on top, because the bulk of this TV is going to be up high, because where the bracket sits, it's actually lower on the TV rather than the center. So I'm going to get things measured up, see what kind of hole saw I need, and get going. Well, that's one hole made, so I got that done, and I'm going to need to do another one down here by my outlet, and then a square one they give us a template for the soundbar. All right. Well, for this kit, they gave you a little cutout template for your soundbar, which is appreciated. So I've gone ahead and scored the corners, I think, into the wall, and next step will be to use the provided what do you call it, drop saw, plunge cut saw, to cut out this square. I thought it was kind of funny though that on the back of this they continue the instructions, so I guess I'm gonna have to tape that back into the manual. I don't think the directions mention this, but when you're cutting out a flat surface like this, it's easier to drill your corners out so that you have a hole to start with when you're working with the plunge cut saw. So basically, you're going to want to do that on every corner so that you have a place to start and end. Well, I ended up using my own saw here because the one that came with the blade was real flimsy. So it's going to work a lot better with the one that's not going to flop around on you. Alright, so we got our 3 holes done. We'll have to test fit to see, make sure they fit in there all good. But I think the next step is to run some wires before I go hooking stuff up. I will also mention that you might want to keep your little cutouts here just in case you did muck something up and you need to repair your drywall. You can stick that plug back in there, putty over it and all that, seal it up good, but hopefully we don't have any issues. Alright, so we're going to do some Fisher tape here to run the male end of this down through the soundbar hole out my bottom. Yeah, because that'll need to plug into the outlet. There's a little cord that goes between that and the outlet. The top part needs to be the female end because that's where your TV plugs into. And you also might want to take a look at these. This one will be on bottom. See, it's got that curve where the cords will curve and go up as you're moving them in and out. And the one on top forces the cords to go down. So, yeah, I was hoping gravity would just feed this down for me, but it's getting stuck in there since that's pretty thick in-wall rated cord. So I'm going to give it some little push and pull action, see if I can get it going. All right, that's one down. We got that one coming out down yonder. Now I'm going to pull the female one up out through the top. All right, we got that power up there now. So next step is going to be figuring out what all wires and cables I want to run. So I know that I'm going to run at least one HDMI from the TV down to the soundbar because we're going to use the audio return channel on the HDMI cable. I'm also going to go ahead and run the optical cable in case I change my mind so that we can use that for the sound if we like. And then probably all the way down to the bottom, maybe 3 HDMI cables in case there's various components and such down here that I want to hook up, and maybe an Ethernet cord, even though we're just going to use wireless on the TV for now. We may change our minds there too. So I'm going to think on that a little bit and see if there's anything else we want to run in there and get her going. Alright, well, I got the HDMI cable and the optical cable of what came with the soundbar ran. Pretty easy. Figure I'd give you this pro tip. These other three HDMI cables are identical. So what I'm going to do there is wrap a little colored electrical tape around each end. And that way I know which color at the bottom matches the color at the top. And it'll save you some time plugging stuff in and out trying to figure out what's what. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get those ran down and see if I can find the Ethernet cable, get that in there too. And we'll start getting this cleaned up. Alright, so we got our color-coded HDMI cables, a little Ethernet cable ran down here to the bottom. So now it's just a matter of figuring out how to connect up this power cord to the little plates here. And then we'll do the step where we connect them into the drywall by spinning those fans out. There's that missing piece of the puzzle there from my cutout. So I think we're nearly done. Alright, so I've gone ahead and took off the trim piece that was on the front, and that just snaps on, so I had to just pull that off. So, and I've ran the cords through there. I didn't quite hit the maximum number that can fit through there, but pretty close. So yeah, pull those through each of the port holes, so those all ready to go. And so now we just stick this canister into the hole, and then we'll tighten this screw, which will cause these little flaps to come out and hold it in place against the drywall. So that's the plan. Let's see if she works. Well, that's one done. Kind of tricky to hold this here in place while you're tightening these screws. Of course, as I'm doing that, I'm hearing the wires. Cable scrape against the backside of the drywall. It's kind of unsettling, like something's about ready to break through. But all right, moving on down to this one, and then the last one. Well, all right, dang, that looks real nice. We got this one up here and all these cords going on. Sound bar, should be able to plug that right in there for power. And then we got some coming out down there for extra things we may want to hook up to the TV. Next step now, we're going to plug in the little cord from that thing over to my outlet. And that's going to supply power to sound bar as well as my outlet up there. So really, I think next I'm going to probably vacuum up a little bit since I'm done sawing and all that. And probably put the TV up because that's right now on the floor and the cats keep crawling on it. So let's see what that looks like. Well, you don't think I overdid it, do you? I mean, that's it with the plastic wrap on. So it's going to be a little smaller once I get it unwrapped. But I think it looked great. All right, so far so good. We're going to see if we can get this set up going here, but next up I'm going to have to do sound bar down below here, and then of course the little furniture that's going in front of there. But I think that worked out right nicely, and I think by the time we got our sound bar hidden under there, you're not going to see really any of them wires. So I'll give you a shot of the finished product here later. All right, folks, well there she is, finished product, I think for now anyway. Soundbar didn't seem like the drywall anchors that came with it are very good, because it seems like it's sagging downwards if you ask me, but I'll figure that out later. Those cords down there at the bottom, I could probably either tuck those into the wall or into the back of that cabinet. There's some spots in there where you can feed those through if you got anything in there that you need to hook up. So, but I'm not too worried about that. The main thing is there's no cords visible here. Behind the TV, I'm thinking I can push it back a little further, but I need to do some more cord management back there, I think. But I think otherwise, though, it's a success so far. And, you know, hope you liked this video. Check us out next time, and I hope you have a quarantastic day. Bye now.